There you go.
What's going on, good brother? Peace and blessings.
How
Salam
you
alaikum, brother
doing,
Fred.
Dae? How you doing?
All right, how you feeling?
All right, guys. Welcome to the For What movement. Let's talk about a few things. But first, I want y'all to introduce yourselves. So we'll start off with Hodges since he came on first.
Okay, no problem. Name is Fred Hodges, man. Long
Can you bring your
time.
camera down a little bit? I'm sorry. There
How's
you go.
that?
Yeah, that's better. Much better.
Fred Hodges, long time resident of Bridgeport, Connecticut, man. Seen a lot, did a lot. Been away for a while. Back to try to change some of the things and bring some of the solutions to some of the issues that I think that are pertinent in the city that need to be addressed, man. You know what I'm saying? I work hard in reform and advocacy for the city of Bridgeport for a lot of the people that some people think they're not even worth it, man. But you know, one thing I know about human beings, as long as you're a human being, then there's value in them. And it's time for redemption. Everybody can have redeemable qualities in them, man, you know.
Right.
And sometimes our people in our city don't always look at them as that. And what I try to do, man, is try to bring about see and pull out the redeemable qualities, what's laying dormant in every human being. Every human being has gifts and qualities that Creator has endowed them with. Sometimes we don't understand that for some of the things in the way that we grow up in the city. So, I'm always fighting, man. I like to look at myself as a reentry abolitionist, man. You know, I'm always fighting to help the people, man, and best I can. Although you can't help everybody, but I could. I'm going to do and be out there, man. I think if we have more resources, we can reach more people in the city of Bridgeport. We hold them accountable for that, man.
And that's the key. We're going to get back to the resources. Go ahead, Dae.
Peace and blessings to all. Pleasure to be here with you brothers today, man. My name is Dae Muhammad McKnight, and like Brother Fred just said, I'm a real Bridgeporter. I'm from here. I was born here. I did live in Brooklyn, New York with my family before, but most of my life I have been here in Bridgeport in a place called Father Panic Village, where me and Brother Fred are from. And I'm only mentioning that to say that although something has happened in me and his life to cause us to try to be a part of the solution, we were at one time unknowingly on the chessboard as a pawn being used as a part of the problem. And I'm grateful today that God has given us an opportunity to be able to undo some of the things that we were involved with. And now today, that's what we do. We both been working in reentry for probably 14, 15 years now, going in prisons and trying to get people to have a positive, successful reintegration in society, and also working with young men at risk, which really is every young man in our community as a result of the collateral damage of oppression and exploitation and lack of resources and deficient school system. Everybody's at risk. And we're just trying to pay down on the debt that we owe to Allah and to humanity. And that's what we do every day, is pay down on the layaway plan on trying to do what's right, my brothers.
All right. Let me give you a little bit of background on the For What movement. The For What movement was formed by me, and I work at a college, so I talk to a lot of young men and women. And the one thing they expressed was people talk to them, but don't actually listen to them. We need to find out what they're going through. You know what I mean? Because we always talk to them about doing the right thing or the wrong thing, or even advice and stuff like that, but we don't listen to what they're going through in their life once they walk out their house. So the For What movement took to the streets. I walked around Bridgeport and stopped people and talked to them, young and old. I've been to parades. I've been to the Board of Education. I talked to the people at the Board of Education. I spoke at colleges and high schools in Bridgeport. And I spoke 3 times at Housatonic College. Because I like to talk, but I like to listen as well. because I want to understand instead of always giving. And they might even take heed into it. But if I listen first, then I can understand, and then they understand where I'm coming from. That's the For What movement. So I want to get back to the resources, because Bridgeport do not have resources. And the resources that they have, the people don't even know about. And it's hard for them to even get to find where the resources is, because there's no locations. You know what I mean? And a lot of the young men and women that come to the colleges I speak to, they always like, where can I go? Who can I talk to? Who can help me? And it's the runaround. So For What we would want to reach out to a lot of people like y'all to find out if y'all have resources, I'll send them to y'all. And I want, of course, I want to help. I want to collab with y'all as well. You know what I mean? Because I think I have a lot to bring to the table on what I do for the community and our young men and women. You know what I mean? So I read your bios somewhat. I ain't gonna say I read the whole thing and I ain't had time, but I read most of it. And for what I see, y'all have been doing enough for years. And you know, it's very interesting that I didn't even know about you guys, because there's the promotion and the marketing of finding out where you at, what you're doing and stuff, but it's not there. You know what I mean? So I want to get more into it, but I want to hear from y'all. Why is that? Why are y'all so hard to find?
Well, I would say that we're not hard to find by the people. See, because the work we do it with the right intentions. We do it in the cause of pure intention. So we've always been here. We've always done work. We just never been the type that, you know, number one, we technologically challenged. Me and a brother, we were incarcerated for long periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
So we're technologically challenged. So we don't have no super blast Facebook. We don't have the media involved with stuff. There's times that we marched and walked through the community and we asked to get 100 brothers and we couldn't get them. We got 30. Praise be to Allah. We got 30. And people wanted to walk with us because it was voting season and we wouldn't let them. That's how we rock. That's how we get down. We don't let nobody use people's pain for profit.
That's
what
right.
we do is we go in with pure intentions. So because of that, we might not even be the most popular people. And because we're technologically challenged, we don't have a billboard out there saying this is what we do. But if you talk to the brothers in the street where it matters the most, if you talk to the brothers in the street in the real struggle and say, yo, do you know Brother Fred? Do you know Brother Dai? Do you know Brother Kenny Jackson? Somebody is going to know us because we there for our people. You know, we there. We there in the trenches.
Okay.
You know, it's funny that you say that, because a lot of the times, like, media really exposes who you are and where you are and what you're doing, right? And like Dai says, I'm definitely challenged when it comes to that. I'm learning that. You know, I have a son who keeps talking to me about a platform, you know, because I'm a city councilman, and he keeps saying, Dad, you need a platform. You need a platform. People need to know who you are. But the people that matter to me, not saying that other people don't matter, they know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this work for the last 15, 16 years, man, straight, man. And not just doing this work, I'm around when they need me. You know, my phone is 24/7. I have a phone on me that I answer my phone anytime and all the time. If there's something going on in the streets that for the individuals that know me. Well, we work most of the time, it was people who was impacted by the justice system. You know what I'm saying? And people who have, what like Dai said, are at risk, and most of the people are at risk. But that's a good question that you're asking. And it's leading me to something that I'm trying to do now and be more exposed to the people and for the people. I grew up in the 60s, man, you know what I'm saying, where it's always been power to the people. I remember the Black Panthers coming through Father Panic Village and the school lunch programs, where you can always find somebody where you was talking about opportunities or information and resources. It's in Bridgeport, it's so scattered and everybody's in silos and everybody wants to be one up. And that's one of the things that I really want to try to bring around, man, the collaborative effort of everybody. one thing that we have to understand, that anybody that comes to see us, they're not our people, they're the people.
Hmm.
So sometimes when somebody comes to somebody's office, they want to wrap around them to see what I did and what I did. It's not about what you did, it's about what they need.
Yep.
Support for them.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that me and Dai has always done. It's about the support of what the person needs. He's not my client. He is an individual that needs services and needs support. You know what I mean? And when we can start to think like that and treat people as human beings and help to develop them, and knowing that this is not a client coming through the door, this is not a customer coming through the door, this is a human being that needs some services, that you are there as a servant to provide for them. You know, and I think that's where we get confused at with the work that me and Dai do. Because you could come to my office, a person could come and don't have an ID, and I spend my money out of my pocket, Dai spend his money out of his pocket, and that's what it is. Because we know when a person comes home, or even if a person not home, or if a person just lost his ID, that's one of the most important things that he's going to need if he's going to try to get a job. And we know that employment leads to somewhat of self-sufficiency. So if you don't have an ID to get a job, man, these are some of the bare rudiment things that we deal with on a daily basis, man, you know, besides some of the other stuff that we deal with, man. But as far as you said, and listen to the people, I love to listen to the youth. But one thing I've learned from listening to the youth, it has to be a back and forth effort, for lack of a better word.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? And like, you know, there's an old saying, you know, young men for war, old men for counsel.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So we definitely got to listen to them and be somewhat of an oar to them, and not lead them, but be the oar. You know, the oar is in the water. You know what I'm saying? The oar is not on top of the boat. They're on top of the boat. So we got to be like that to them, man. And that's one of the things you're definitely right. We got to do a lot more listening to them, man, and working with them. But we have to have a hub or something, because there's too many different little organizations that's saying what they're doing, and they're not getting the benefit from as a whole what the city of Bridgeport should be offering them.
Well, you know, I worked with and still is with Bridgeport, congresswoman, and I ain't gonna name no names, but it's always what I got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's backing you? You know what I mean? And I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, is that important? I'm not asking you for nothing. You know what I mean? I'm asking you to help me do what I'm already doing. You know what I mean? Because I know Connecticut is a political state. You know what I mean? So you ain't playing with the game. You ain't, you know, I ain't gotta say no more. You know what I mean? It really is. And I'm like, I want to play the game, but I really want to help people.
And Q, I'm gonna be honest with you, and that's what we have to change. Just what you said when they said who's backing you, right? What they're saying is we don't have no power.
I don't need the power, but you know.
But listen, let me just say it for a second.
Okay.
What did Frederick Douglass say, right, about power, right? Power concedes what with power, right? It doesn't change, right? Not unless there's power. How I forget how that saying goes, but if we're not showing any strength in the city of Bridgeport, they're not recognizing nothing. So we have to galvanize our youth. They have to understand how this city works in order to change this city. Because as long as they stay separated and they give to the two and the few, they're never going to get nothing. You follow what I'm saying? So if we can galvanize them as one unit, not my program or your program or this program, this is the power of the city.
It's the program.
It's the program. But we have to get these brothers in these organizations to come as one, man. And that's the hardest part, because the powers that be is always dangling shiny objects at us, man.
Yeah, man.
And they're falling for that.
I don't fall for it. I mean, but
I believe you don't.
I've been dealing with this for about 16 years, dealing with Bridgeport, but I can say I'm in a little bit. And I can say Daya, you is too, you know what I mean? Because now you got a clear vision of what's going on and you're hearing and you're listening, but you're going to see more. You know what I mean? Because dealing with this college and dealing with the board of education, I've been in meetings, and I've been around conversations on how this system works. You know what I mean? And now they know who I am. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, yeah, you're in. And I'm like, oh, okay, but I'm not playing ball though. You know what I mean? I'm not playing ball. I just wanted to learn how to play ball, but I don't want to play. You feel me? So now I know how to play. You know what I'm saying? But for what I see, I'm still sticking to my roots, which is the street, because they need the street, but they just ignorant of it. You know what I mean? They're very ignorant of it. You're nothing without the people.
That's right.
You're nothing. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care what you do or whatever. You're nothing without the people. And they're very ignorant of that. They forget just like that. And it's bad. That's the bad part. And I spoke on that. And it did click with them because now they're more humble. Because I could take it back to the street. That person right there, no. Because if the street respects you and what you're doing and who you are, they're going to follow you. And to me, that's what counts. And I got a lot of followers. A lot. I know a lot of people in Bridgeport, a lot, and they know who I am. And I've been there, done that. Y'all don't know my history, but you will. I'm praying that we work together. But I was in the game for a long time, the music game for a long time. I'm still in it. I don't like to brag about it, but I'm in the music game. You know what I mean? I'm a work hard man. I own 7 businesses. I teach at Housatonic. I'm a mentor at Housatonic. And I'm a worker. I'm a real worker. And what the street call a hustler. I'm not sleeping. I got to do things. I got to make money. I'm a hustler. And they know that now. So they letting me in. That's the game. It's just like I'm from the 60s too. I was born in 68. You know what I mean? So I'm from New York. I'm from Harlem. So I know the game on how to make money, get money. I know that game. And I know for a fact what people do, because they do to this day, they look at you first. They size you up, see who you are, what you're about, what you got. And with the games, because it's still a game, because I've seen in Bridgeport, if you ain't looking like it, they don't want to deal with you. You can talk a good game, but they want to see it. They want to see. I'm gonna give you one. I did an event at the Holiday Inn. Right? It's a true story. I did it, and the building management was feeling me so much they gave me extra stuff because the way I talk and the way I presented myself and how much I want to help people, stuff like they gave me deals and everything. I had 15 people come. I had 10 leave. I had 5 left. A person would get very discouraged because there's only 5 left, but they don't know who those 5 people was that stayed. Because if I would have just said, yo, it's over, I would have missed those 5 people. Those 5 people put me on a better level because they listened. They're like, yo, we gonna help you. But if I was just deaded it, I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? You get where I'm coming from? I don't care about the numbers. It's who's in the room. It's who's in the room. And those people help me. And that's how I got into the board of education, got to speak at other schools, stuff like that, because the people that stayed helped me get there. Because they liked what I was talking about. All right? So I got some questions for y'all. Unless y'all got some input real quick before I get to the questions?
No, only thing I'm gonna say is that for the time period that we've been home, like I said, I'm gonna reiterate, we never had no one opened the door for us, except for Mr. Kenny Jackson. He kicked the door open and got Steve Lanza to sit down and say, hey, if you want to build a reentry plan, you got to have people with lived experience at the table to facilitate reentry and make this thing work.
That's right.
And whether he kicked that door open or not, we was just doing it grassroots, man, like we've been doing. We just doing the work. And God kicks these doors open for us, man. And because of Kenny Jackson's relationship, that got us into doing the work on a formal level, working with an agency. But this is a work that we live, that we walk, that we talk, that we really. I don't like to talk about this because I hate when I turn on YouTube, man. This is nothing to glamorize. This is nothing to glamorize about us being used by outside entities to destroy our own community unknowingly. That's really nothing to be bragging about. So I hate talking about this.
Mhm.
But the point I'm making is that me and this brother right here and Kenny Jackson and there's other brothers besides us that are not here today, we really from here. And we really from the real deal, the whole experience. We can't even go into the story, but we are the real thing. Not Coca-Cola, but the real thing.
Mhm.
And the biggest thing that we carry is we carry hope for brothers to know that although this is what you did and this is how you live and this is how your family live, that once you get the blueprint, man, you can extract from this world the things that you need to take care of your family and walk a path to be a model to emulate in your community to help our young men be able to reclaim their manhood
Mhm.
and not continue to be dehumanized and be castrated and have their manhood taken from them because there's no longer a physical castration, but there's a castration taking place here where we are being made less than men because we're not given the tools in our community. Like Malcolm X said, they break your wings and then accuse you of not being able to fly. The average young brother in this city, man, this education system is worse than New York. New York education system is way better than Bridgeport.
Oh, I got stories about that too.
Bridgeport is on the level of Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia school system, man. The
Mhm.
Baltimore school system. It's sad. A lot of our young men, if they do graduate, it's not their fault, man.
That's right.
Brothers' literacy rate is on a 6th grade level, and then you expect for them to be able to navigate and survive in this society? Of course we're gonna go to the things that we feel comfortable with or that we've been seeing or that we've been used to that's been forced on us as the collateral damage of oppression and exploitation.
Okay.
So this is real. This is real, man.
Let me ask you a question. I'm glad you brought it up about the school systems because it's all about the numbers. You know what I mean? I learned that too. I learned that a long time ago, but I got a reality check when I seen it for myself, right? So we got a lot of problems. And what the For What movement is all about is we recognize the problems, right? I want to push solutions. You know what I mean? We could talk all day about the problems. I want to push solutions. Y'all are one of the solutions. Look what you're doing. I want to promote that. You know what I mean? I want to promote that. We could talk all day about the problem, but I want to tell these people about the solutions that y'all bringing to the table. Okay? So I got a few questions for you guys. First, I want more of y'all to introduce y'all program or what y'all do. Who want to take control of that?
Well, right now, we have a residential program. It's
Mhm.
not the program that I have, it's the agency that I work for.
Okay.
Personally. You know, I work for an agency called Fannie Rentry, CRJ, Community Resources for Justice. They merged with us about 2.5 years ago.
Mhm.
And we had a house, we were the first house in the state back in
I'm sorry.
2000.
You said they merged with you guys
Yeah, they merged with us, yeah.
because y'all was already doing your own thing, right?
Yeah, they merged with our agency. Yeah, they merged with our agency.
But you was already doing your own thing.
No, we wasn't doing our own thing. I started out working for an agency.
Oh, okay. And then another
Yeah,
agency-
yeah.
Okay.
And then another agency came and took it over. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we had a lot of DOC contracts. That's what really started us off, you know. I haven't been able to go for self just yet. That's one of the things that's in the working,
Mhm.
you know, but going for self or not at this present time is about helping people that come through the door, you know. And so what we do is we go inside prisons, we do fatherhood inside there on a pre-release side. So when they come home, we have some services for them when they come home.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm
The services that we have right now, we have housing, we have an 8-bed residential program that it was DOC, but it's not DOC, it's private right now,
Mhm.
where we have individuals that come there that from halfway houses that aren't ready to go out on their own just yet, but they're able to come there and we only charge them $125 for rent in a 2-man room, $150 for a single room.
Wow.
What we do is we buy food for them, you know, so they can save their money in a year's time, maybe go on and get their own place. We have free laundry there, but we don't charge them for the laundry like most programs. They might have coin machines in their programs. We don't have that. So they're able to wash their clothes. And we have like, well, keep it real on Sunday night meetings. I'm here tonight because I'm not going to have it tonight, where I go in there and I talk to them brothers, man. But man, these brothers, like Dai say, man, they've been through a lot, man. And seem like nobody's giving them a damn chance, man.
You know what? I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help y'all. I own a clothing line,
Yeah.
a real clothing line. I got coats, jackets, jeans, sneakers, everything, hats, everything. I can't help them all, but I got help the ones that don't have nothing.
I appreciate it. We only got 8 guys in our program, man.
Well,
And some of the guys that
I'll
come
show
on.
Daid, but I got sneakers, I got boots, and ain't my brand.
Yes, sir.
My brand. Okay, I'm gonna help y'all with that. But go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what we do is when they come out, I get a treatment plan called Success Plan with them, because when a brother come home, man, there's certain things that I look at. If a brother's been away for a while, right, and he come home and he starts smoking cigarettes, right, that's high anxiety, man.
That's right.
So I start dealing with the anxiety of the brother and what's wrong, what's going on with you. Because if you just did 5, 10, 15, 25 years and you wasn't smoking in the penitentiary, and although you can smoke, but you're not smoking every day like you are now, and it's normal to come home and have some anxiety. So try to deal with the anxiety with the brother. So I try to walk them step by step. You know, I go to interview with them. I'll take them there, you know, because I know coming out that interview, if they got denied that job, man, that could be one of the biggest things that running back to the equal opportunity employer in the streets. Because they can go one time and say, yo, man, it ain't working. But like I always tell them, if it's about that girl, you don't give up on that girl. So don't give up on yourself looking for that job, man. You know what I'm saying? So I really work with a lot of people who's been impacted by the justice system. That's my thing. You know, if you've been impacted by the justice system, you come home, they come into our office. There's other programs in the city, but they come into our office because they know about Daid, they know about Fred. We go into prisons, we did time in the prisons, and so they come because they see the hope, like Daid said, man. You know, so it's important to have an ID when they come home, birth certificates when they come home. These seem so small, but these are the things that the state hasn't even figured out yet that help a brother that's coming home. They still charging them coming out of DOC if they got money on the books, taking a little $30 or whatever they have as opposed to giving that to them, because it doesn't cost the state not even $5 to make a state ID when you really look at to it. So there should be not any individual coming home without an ID. So these are some of the things that we're on the battlefield fighting for that some people think is not nothing, man.
But you know what? I found this out too about the state. They don't want to help everybody. They can't. You know why? Because then they won't get funded. They need people to need. So,
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We gotta get the reality check that the state you know, they don't really care.
I'm not looking. There's a difference between looking for a handout and a hand up.
You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
looking for a handout. So there's a difference here now. So
Mhm.
I'm not on this show begging for the state. You know, I'm talking about what taxpayers pay their money for, that we
Okay.
should be automatic get it.
That's
You
right.
follow what I'm saying?
That's
This is
right.
what I'm talking about. I pay taxes. My mother paid taxes. My family paid taxes. Even people who are incarcerated pay taxes.
That's
So we're
right.
not asking for nothing that we shouldn't be giving, because you give it to the people on the other side of the railroad track.
Because
this
we
is
take
what-
care. It's a circle. It's a circle.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
particular
yeah.
circle.
You know,
You know what I mean?
so
So yeah. Let me get to some questions real quick. Some beautiful questions I think y'all will love. For instance, I know y'all can relate to being behind the bar and stuff like that, right? So when y'all go into the cells, I mean to the prisons, and y'all talk, do they how you say, let me just put it how I wrote it. Do you get the full attention from it? Do you get the full attention from them because they can relate? I mean that y'all can relate of being behind the bars?
That's the question. Do we get the
Yeah.
full attention?
Yeah, do y'all get their full attention because y'all can't relate being behind the bars?
I think it's two things that gets their full attention. I wouldn't even say that we could relate because we've been behind bars is number one.
Mhm.
That's actually number two. And see, a lot of people don't understand this. That's number two. Me and you got an experience in common. The language that I'm using tells you that we have an experience in common. And then you connect with me. And once I got your attention, I can give you some vital information because you paying attention. But the first connection is this. Fred has something on his email that says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So the first connection is when they sense we dealing with brothers from the street. Brothers from the street know when you running BS on them in the first 2 seconds, man.
That's right.
So when we go in there and they feel the sincerity, that is the first connection. That someone genuinely is concerned with me as a human being. That's connection number one. Then connection number two is we have a similar experience. We not only from the same environment, but we also from the same experience as far as incarceration is concerned. But a lot of people miss the fact that, you know, the average human being, as corny as it sounds, people want to know, man, that they concerned about, that they love, man. And when they feel that the person has that form, it could be a person from the suburbs. But if the person is sincere, they're going to make a connection to be able to make progress with an individual that knows that this one person has a genuine concern for them, man. And I think that's what gets lost with a lot of situations, like even in the classroom. It's hard on a teacher, man. They got 26 students in the class in Bridgeport Public School. Very difficult. Kids come to school with trauma. They might have heard gunshots last night. They might not have adequate food to eat. They stop at the corner store to get I don't know what they do now. I mean, I'm older, but we used to get a pack of non-laters, lemon heads, Alexander the grapes, whatever it is. Now you on sugar. You go in there, you got trauma, and the teacher got 26 kids. They tell you to sit down and be quiet. Impossible. Then they take the kid, keep putting them out of class for behavior problems. Then they test them and say, he's not up to par. He has a learning disability. No, if you keep kicking me out of class, then how could I be caught up academically if I'm missing all the work? You know, so these kids have a lot of issues, man. But if there's a teacher there that says, hey, man, my job is holistic. Not only am I here to teach you, I might have to be here to feed you. I might have to be here to listen to you. I might have to give you counseling because this is the nature of the job that I got in order for you to make the progress academically and develop intellectually as you should. So when people know that you care about them, it makes a difference. It makes a big difference.
So I see Mr. Hodges. that you work with churches too. And do you bring that into the system?
But it's religious services, you mean?
Yes, yes.
Well, I'm always going to recognize God, you know what I'm saying, in the sense that me being Muslim, but I don't infringe on anybody's other religion. But I've always tell people that, you know, you got to have a connection with a creator, whatever name you call him, man, because none of us, we got here in the world that we see. This ain't just to get here by design, man. You know what I mean? And like Dai always says, that one thing that shows us all that we're individuals and there was a creator that did that, none of us have the same fingerprint.
That's right.
So when we just start thinking about where did you come from, how did you get here? And I try to teach people that you don't have to be so religious, but you have to have that connection with a power and a force that's greater than yourself. You know, there was a wise man that once said, he said, know for a surety that your faith has to be greater than your knowledge, because your faith will bring you where your knowledge can't carry you, because you're not going to know everything and you're not going to understand everything. So if you have the faith in the work that you're doing to be consistent in it, then that's somewhat having your faith and belief in something stronger than your own ability at that present time, which is faith, man. So I come to them while I'm inside there like that, man, you know, because as myself, man, I'm Muslim, and I know that there was a creator, and I know that there is a creator, and what helped me get to where I'm at now, because if it wasn't, I know if I didn't believe in something greater than myself and God, man, I wouldn't be here today. Because in my own thinking, I'm a fool, man. So I have to use something in a book and as a barometer, as a measuring by what I should live by. You know, because we all live by something. Brothers in the street live by a code. I tried that code, it didn't work for me. So I'm gonna try this other thing now.
I found God near death.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, there was a book that I'm just going to say, there's a book that I read when I was away. It was by George Jackson. It was called Soledad Brothers. He was in Soledad prison. And he said, there's only two ways you come out of prison. He said, you make a complete change or you come out worse than what you was before you went in there. And I read that book, man. I was locked up about 8 years when I read that book, and tears start coming out my eyes because there was no way that I wanted to come back out after doing all that time the way that I was when I was in there before I went in, because it didn't work for me when I was out there. Because if it did work, I wouldn't have wound up in the penitentiary. So I had to do some soul searching and some soul thinking and to change my actions and our ways. And I went to Islam, and that's what helped me while I was away.
Okay, now I got some deep questions for Mr. Dai. Dai, you have a degree in psychology, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can recognize, I think we said at the beginning of the conversation, when somebody's full of it.
Yeah, and you know what? That didn't come from my degree in psychology.
I know we got the street way.
I got that degree from my street degree in psychology.
I know that, but because I graduated in that too. I'm getting to a point, right?
No, yes, sir. I'm with you, brother.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting to a point. So my question to you is, even though you recognize it, do you give up on the person or you keep, going?
No, basically, and that's one good thing that I did learn from the academic psychology. I already knew it, but they gave me the language. You meet people where they are in the stages of change. So a person might be in pre-contemplation stage of change. That's a fancy word they use that basically the person's not ready yet.
That's right.
But you don't throw them to the wolves, man. You still make yourself accessible to them. You can see the degree of energy that they're going to put into it themselves. And if they don't put the degree of energy into it that they need to put in themselves, then you know that they're not going to be able to be successful. But you make yourself available to them. But if I got a person who's putting more energy into it, I'm probably going to give them more of my time, but I'm still going to be accessible to the other person. And me and Fred have had brothers who just wasn't ready. There's a time in my life where I wasn't ready.
Can you define when you say not ready?
Not ready to accept and realize that if you put your hand on the stove, there's a possibility that you could get injured, and that you need to find an injury-free way to be able to take your sustenance from this planet for you and your family. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, and they bumping your head against the wall, I believe they define that as insanity.
Can I go there real quick? But this is what I tell guys that come out of prison. I met a lot of family members and so on. You know how you got to go to the board for you to get parole and hand them that story to convince them that you are now part of society to go back into society. You know what I mean? So if they don't recognize how real or genuine the thing that you're seeing coming out your mouth, you're not going back into society. Right?
Well, not when they say that they will allow you in, because at the end of the day, whether they allow you in or not, you got an EOS, you got to end on your sentence. You just have to do it all. You got to take it to the gate, we said. And I was one of those people that took it to the gate.
But that's what I'm saying.
The halfway house. But I knew that I was done, and I didn't care how much time they took out of me, because I always said, get it all now, because you'll never get another day.
I hear that.
I knew I was done.
I hear that, but I was just trying to go to the point of.
No, I got you.
You gotta, how you say, you gotta get that reality check that you have to deal with society.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You have, there's nothing you can get around that. We are here at breathing, paying bills.
Hey, can I say something to you?
You know what I mean?
Can I say something to you that
Sure.
hit me? If I may say something to you. I was in a halfway house, and I had got a job, and I hadn't been in society for a while. And I hope people understand what I'm saying, because people might take this the wrong way, man. But
you always want to have the half and half.
Yeah,
some understand, some don't. This is
right.
So right.
But I had to do self-check on me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just another part of my motivation. But I was saying to myself, as I came out and I'm looking at what's going on in society, I was admiring a lot of our brothers and sisters who came from South America and Mexico as immigrants. And I had worked on a job with a few brothers and sisters, and they couldn't speak English, some of them. But one thing they had in their head that wasn't taken from them was they had delayed gratification. And we had that taken from us. They even though they couldn't speak the language, they were goal-oriented. They hit the shores with a plan. And when I seen what they was doing, I said to myself about me and my people.
Mm-hmm.
I know people looking at me saying, well, what is it? But I'm mixed, but I'm African American. That's my experience, and that's part of my ethnic makeup. And I said to myself, I've been here for 400 or 500 years. How is a joker coming here that can't speak the language getting ahead of me? I gotta check myself. I'm no longer going to allow that to happen. Because for a while when I was young, nobody ever taught me. The only thing I knew was instant gratification, that if this happened, I need to see the result immediately. I never had the concept of delayed gratification. And what I'm working on now, I'm going to get the end result later on. And when people have that taken from them, because that was taken from us as a people, you lose a lot. And then you watch people come that didn't have that taken from them, and they're goal-oriented, and they come and they take the fruits in the good benefits of America that's right there for the grasping for us, but we let them go by. You know how many brothers, me and Brother Fred, try to get a job. It might be something that nobody wants at the time, depending on what we have for them available. Could be Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, and a brother say, yo, man, I don't want to work in no McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts. And then we say to him, but brother, you a real hustler. A real hustler can make money no matter what the game is, he can make money. Go into Dunkin' Donuts and McDonald's like you're going to take over a block. Go in there and learn all the stations without them teaching you. And before you know it, they're going to give you the keys and ask you, can you close, and make you the manager when you was a person with a criminal record. But it's how you view it. It's perception. Is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? But when we lose our goal-orientated thinking, they took a lot from us, man. And I started thinking about that. And what I did when I was in that halfway house, I started pretending they just let me off a boat from a foreign country, and I went on my grizzly, on my grind, and I started building a life for myself, because I took the same mentality that brothers and sisters take when they first hit the shores of America. That this the land of opportunity. It been the land of pain and no gain for us. Right. We could turn it into the land of opportunity.
And I'm glad you said that. You know why? Because that goes back to the beginning of the conversation. A lot of people don't take the time to say, let me learn this, let me find out where it at, who it is, and so on and so on and so on. They just be like, yo, whatever.
That's true.
You know what I mean? True. That's all it is.
True.
That's simple. They be like, man, whatever. Oh, well, they gonna treat me like that? Okay, whatever. Instead of fighting back. And that's how, I ain't gonna go there, but that's how they're doing our people like that. It's so easy. Because the first thing they'll say is, yo, whatever, man, I'm gonna do me. But what is doing you? Chilling? That's doing you?
Only thing that's chilling is on ice, 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
It'll come out. So it goes back to, I don't want to get up to the question, but I just want to say this real quick. I'm going to see if y'all agree. When we talk to people, because I'm pretty sure y'all talk to a lot of people, I talk to a lot of people. When you feel that the person that's listening and following the directions, how do that make you feel? And you look at that person like, yo, wow, they doing it. How did that make you feel?
Brother Fred, you want to go first, or you want me to take it real quick?
Yeah, you can.
I just say this real fast. It makes me feel good, not because the person is listening to me, because I'm just sharing wisdom and information with them that somebody shared with me. It makes me feel good, though, because I'm watching a person realize and actualize their own God-given divine potential. I'm glad because they finally met the one person that they haven't met yet, themselves.
Knowing that Ben could have done it. But some people do need that person to say, hey, yeah, you can do it. You can. But just do it. If you need that push, here's the push. But I can't do it. You got to do it. But here's the push. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm a cosign. That's all it is. Because there's some smart people out here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's
definitely
some smart people out here. I just met this young man. He's so intelligent. And would you know he didn't graduate from nowhere? But he's very, very smart. Very smart. And it's a lot of them out there. And a lot of them, and this is another thing I don't like, but you know, a lot of how educational facilities say, hey, you're nothing about this paper. That's not true. That's not true. It's good for the corporate, but it's not true. Because a lot of people out here that I met myself, that's entrepreneurs, didn't graduate from a college, but own a very, very prestigious business.
You know, Q, that's one of the things that the educational system I kind of fought in the city of Bridgeport, that let go of some of the trades, the skilled trades that are not available to our youth, man, because some of our youth, man, if you watch them, like Dai always say, man, play video games with hand and eye coordination and how they use them joysticks, man, and the things that they can do with their hands, man.
Not even looking.
You're not even looking, man. They're being underdeveloped. They're being
Mhm.
underdeveloped in how they're pushing academics. And like you said, for those who want academics, it should be there. But it should also be there for those who don't want academics, but are good with their hands and good with their head and know
Right.
how to create they're artists, man, so to speak, man.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things that is being on the city council, man. And if I get reelected, and even if I don't get reelected, because I'm gonna be honest with you, man, I'm not a politician. I came into this when somebody asked me to come into politics, and I had turned it down. But I always been saying, why did God bring this and put this on my table for, like this here? So I'm starting to really realize
I want you to
that.
see.
I'm starting to really realize that I've always been an advocate. I'm an advocate that happened to be in politics. So I'm gonna bring what I know to the people, man, and try to bring some change. It's one of the change in our educational system. Bridgeport got to bring back some vocational skills for these kids, man.
For real.
They got to bring it back, man. When I was a kid growing up in Bridgeport, man, they had machine shop, they had wood shop, they had print shop, they had auto mechanics. None of that is here. You have to go to a vocational school to get that. Why is that? Why did you take something that was so valuable that would help an individual develop, become self-sufficient that you don't have anymore?
Because you know what? Well, I'm pretty sure you learned this.
Yeah, I know why, but we got to fight to bring that kind of stuff back. When you talk about solutions, that is the solutions to some of the issues that's happening to our youth in the streets, because everybody's not going to go to school and want to be a therapist, want to be a psychologist, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some of them want to be a mechanic. Some of them want to be an electrician. Some of them want to be a brick mason.
A plumber.
A plumber. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing there for them. And even so much so with the unions, how they got a grip on that thing. We got to break that thing up too, man. Because most of the people in the union don't look like us, man.
Oh, it's a money game. It's a money game.
Yeah.
It's a money game, you know, and it's like I said, it's a circle, y'all. It's a circle. And
Yeah.
We got to break that circle.
Got to break that circle, man. And that's what I'm about, man. That's what me and Dai's been about, man, since we've been here. I ain't trying to be part of the team if I got to be part of the team.
Okay.
I'll be part of
I told you that's what I did.
you know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That ain't working for me, man.
The system it is rigged, you know, and
Yeah.
we just gotta throw some wrenches in there a little sometimes.
Yeah.
know? Give them some reality checks. Hey, Nick, you ain't nothing without us.
That's right. That's right.
You ain't nothing without us. You got to do something for us. Y'all want to go play over there in the corner? Okay, but you got to do for us first. Then y'all can go play. You know, you don't tell us to go play. No. You need us. We don't need you. And that's the reality check I give them.
And see, you said something important a few minutes ago when our youth always say, whatever, I'm going to do me. And see, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to get them to understand it's bigger than there's no I in we. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we got to get them to understand, man, that you got that power. And collectively, you got it, man.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you thinking dolo and I'm gonna do me, it's not gonna happen, man. And not saying that it can't happen, but you get more of that pie. You don't want to slice. You wanted to be at the table. Somebody told me and Dai a while ago. He said, if you're not at the table, then what? You on the menu.
Not only that, you know what I tell them? It's a true story. We the ingredients.
That's right.
Ingredients. What's anything without the ingredients? Nothing.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's
you
right.
know what I mean? We the ingredients. They can't do nothing without the ingredient. I told the students at the college, I said, you listen, y'all stronger than y'all think y'all are here.
That's right.
Believe me when I tell y'all. Because when they do their meetings, you know what I mean? They always talk about what to do with the students. You know what I mean? The students are saying, this is what we want y'all to do. Because y'all need us. This is what we need. I don't want to hear what y'all see the thing. Okay, this is a true story. When I spoke at the college, It was a big thing, big thing. I spoke to the college. I said, let me tell you something. Before the meeting, I said, let me tell you something. Okay? With these kids, if they was to form their own thing, y'all out of a job. Because these kids say, strike, I ain't coming no more. What y'all gonna do? So before they start demanding, listen to what they need and what they want and give it to them. Because the state give y'all the money for them. So give them what they want. It's that easy. But what they try to do, they want to play. They want to play. You know what I mean? They want to play people's minds and emotions and so on and so on and so on to make them believe, nah, y'all need us. No. I tell them students, no. We need y'all. Okay? I said, this pandemic opened up a lot of people's eyes. A lot of people, because people had time, a lot of time to marinate on the problems, find out things. You know what I mean? A lot of things got people woke. And if you notice, I'm pretty sure you'll notice a lot of changes that's going on for the people. Because people's like, wait a minute. Wait, what? Hold on. You know what I mean? Believe me, a lot of people woke up. I talked to the people. I talked to the, okay? So they recognize that we better give these people what they want. You know what I mean? They're going to still try to do a little dirty here and there. It ain't going to be perfect. But they found out we got to give these people what they want before they turn to this. That January 6th situation at the White House, that opened up a lot of people's eyes too. Because, you know, all them officers and Democrats and Republicans, whatever you want to call them, was like this, oh my God, the people are mad. And look what they do when they get mad. They don't want that to happen again. And that was at the, what? At Washington, D.C. at the White House? Where were the cops and security and all? Where they were at? You know where they was at? If you look at the video, they was in the crowd with the people. They was in the crowd with the people. If I watched every last video, they was in the crowd with the people. Go ahead. They was letting them in. They was letting them in. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Go ahead. Straight up. For real. This is true story. Watch the video. They're like, go ahead. You know what I mean? So that scared the hell out of the hell out of them. You know what I'm saying? The people got tired of it. That was a wake-up call. And they like, that can't happen again. Mess with the people. Oh, yeah, it will. Worse. The people are strong. And I try to tell people we are very powerful. But y'all make them feel like they is when they really not. They just people with a title. Okay? And it's how many? 3 billion people on this planet? A little bit more? And how many politicians is it? Okay? How many cops is it? It's not enough at all. New York alone, there's 10 million plus in New York. There's only 400,000 police officers. You think they want the people to turn on them? Okay? No, they don't. No, I'm from New York. I talk to cops all the time. Yo, if they wild out, yo, I'm out. I'm gone. I ain't what? They gone. Because all they want to do is they 10 to 12 hours and go home. Because they know if the people turn, it's a wrap. It's the same thing in the education, the fire department, the police, all of them. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with the community. If the community do this, oh my God, that's all it takes. And that's what I preach to them. I use the word preach, but you know what I mean? I feel like I'm a preacher when I'm talking to numbers of people, but you know, they understand where I'm coming from. They be like, yo, you right. I'm like, yeah. Trust me, I am. I know it. I see it. I listen. You know what I mean? And I see it clear as day. I want y'all to see it clear as day how powerful we are. All ethnics. All, not just black and white. And I hate that. It's always black and white. It's many ethnic. It's Cuban, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Chinese, Japanese, Russian. It's so many ethnics, but they always say black and white. You know why? There's money in that. There's money in that. You throw it out there, it's viral. Anything, black and white, is viral. You know what I mean? And I talked to a whole lot of people. They like, I don't know why it's like that. I said, I don't know neither. I know now. There's money in that. There's stories in that. There's capital. Always. Why they always talk? I feel like I'm talking too much. I need y'all to talk. But anyway, I'm going to say the last thing. Why do you think there's minority government programs now? Minority programs now. Not for all the other ethnics, for Black and Latino. If you go to City Hall right now in Bridgeport and you walk in and say, I want to see I want a minority grant. Oh, it's right there on the second floor for Latino and Black. Not for the other ones, Mexican, Japanese. No. For Blacks, Latinos, and Blacks. Why is it like that? Why?
I'm not really sure why it's like that now, but I know they've always had things that relate to affirmative action and whatnot. One of the problems with it is that to get those minority grants and sometimes minority contracts, people have gotten real deceptive, and they have companies that's owned by Caucasian owners, and sometimes they would make their wife the head of the company in order to qualify as a minority company. And they would get some of those grants that were meant for disenfranchised people in different cities like Bridgeport.
Would you agree that there's more than two ethnics in Bridgeport?
Say again?
Would you agree that there's more than two ethnic races in Bridgeport?
Oh, absolutely. It's more than two ethnic groups in
Because
Bridgeport.
I seen some. I seen
Absolutely.
Indians,
Absolutely.
Jewish,
Yeah, absolutely.
Ethiopians,
Yep.
Mexicans.
It's a lot of different ethnic groups, especially in Bridgeport.
Why is only for Latinos and Black people?
Well, I think I can't really speak to the exact reason, but I could say that, I mean, strategically, if they're trying to secure votes, you in a city.
Stay right there. Go ahead, Hodges.
That's predominantly
stay right
Black
there.
and Latino.
Stay right there. Go ahead. Would you get ready to say, Hodges?
No, Dai was saying something.
No. You get ready to say something. He was still talking, but you get ready to say something.
No, I was just going to talk about. I think what Dai is saying is a little bit more important. What I was going to say.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go back to the boat situation. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying that sometimes things are done politically motivated. I'm not a politician. Fred's not really either. He believes in serving the people like I believe in. But I think being a dude from the street, you think about strategy, and I see that. I mean, if you're in a city that's predominantly Black and Latino, then why wouldn't you make it appear like you're doing something for African Americans and Latinos in order to get those votes to stay loyal to the Democratic Party? I mean, has anybody in this city ever asked themselves a question? We have a lot of qualified Black and Latino, and of course, white politicians that could be mayor. But has anybody ever asked themselves a question in a city that's predominant? You think about it, with Blacks and Latinos, only 1/3 of the city is Caucasian. 2/3 of the city is Black and Latino. That's enough to tip any election. Has anybody ever logically asked themselves, how come Bridgeport is the only city in Connecticut? It's the largest city by population in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only city in Connecticut that has never had a Black or Latino mayor. And it is majority Black and Latino. So, I mean, these are logical questions that a person have to ask themselves.
How they- I get it, but go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying, so what I'm saying is maybe they could be having those grants like that in order to keep the situation what it is, because it makes it appear like somebody's doing something and that keeps them in power. I could be wrong. This is my opinion. I've been wrong about a lot of things in my life. This is my opinion.
Strong, though. It's strong. It's a strong opinion, but sometimes when it's strong, you could be right. Because it logically, when you say it like that, it does bring up a light bulb. Like, wait a minute, that don't add up. That don't add up at all. You know what I mean? And this is the reality check. Like, yo, wait a minute, something ain't right. Hold on. Let me go to the street. Did you vote for him? No. Did you vote for him? No. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, but I get it. It's a game. Remember the game. You know what I mean?
See what you're saying, and see that's the gap right there. See, Dae just told us that 2/3 of the city is Latino and Black, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just said that. Did you vote for them? Did you vote for them? And you say no, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're not voting, period. And I'm not advocating for voting, but if you want to change, you're going to have to do something. You know what I mean? To bring it to your favor. And
no,
that's
did you vote for him?
No, listen, but they're not. But listen, I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the people don't vote in the city.
That's true story. True. That is true.
You know what I mean? So this is what has to be done. And I'm not an advocate that I think for politics, but if you want change, what I'm starting to learn, you got to be at the table. You got to be the ingredients.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you're not going to be the ingredients and you're not going to be at the table, you can't say anything about that. Then they're going to always do what they always do. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to sprinkle some sprinkles on the top to make you think that you're getting something. It's called smoke and mirrors. And there's a lot of that in the city of Bridgeport.
Mm-hmm.
For the year and a half that I've been there, I done learned a lot, man, that this stuff got to change, brother.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the power to change it. We're 2/3 of the population in the city, man.
Can we get
nothing?
Some types of eye openness of change. I'm gonna start off with one. One change is, I think y'all said this at the beginning of the conversation, resources. Resources, right? What can we do, right, to start getting better or more resources?
One thing I would say is that I think we have the resources, but there's no power without a demand. And I think that the resources are in the wrong places. For instance, a long time ago, and they used to have it in New York too, it was under another name, but in Bridgeport, it was the CEDA and PIC program. It was money that was given by the federal government to the city. And when you turn 14 years old, because the bottom line is, man, like I grew up in poverty. I grew up in a housing project. Most of the kids in the city of Bridgeport live below the poverty line. So it's about economics, about access. It's not a lot of money, but it does two things. It helps families out, and it also teaches kids the etiquette of working and doing for themselves and things of that nature. So when you turn 14, the PIC and CEDA program used to give you a summer job, not a group of kids. If any kid from 14 to 22 made it by the deadline to sign up for application,
mm-hmm.
they had a summer job.
Yeah, that was in New York. Yeah.
Now, nowadays that don't exist. But this money still monies like that still come from the federal government.
It's still in Connecticut.
Right. And they say, well, we still have a summer job program.
Mhm.
You look on the list, it's 23 kids, 50 kids in the whole city of Bridgeport with a population of what, 145, 56,000, whatever it is. But I'm just saying,
167 now.
right. Okay. So bottom line is the resources are there, but they're being put in the wrong places. And see, that's because when you don't have a voice, like Fred said, at the table, then you can't demand that resources are allocated to certain places. So the second thing I want to say is, which brings Fred in. Brother Fred has been wanting to do something. He wants to set up a workshop to teach people civics 101 and how to utilize your right to vote and understanding the branches of government on a local level and on a national level, because a lot of our people don't know. And instead of waiting for the school to teach them, some people drop out before they get to that stuff, man. We take the opportunity to educate people in our community on why it's important for them to be involved, because you can't be at the table to ask for resources to be allocated somewhere if you're not participating in the sport of, and you're not on deck. You're not, like, you got city council people. Any of these young people in this city will make an excellent city council person. They could run. They probably will have a better vision than all of us. But a lot of times they don't even know how to get started or connect apparatus or what the process is or nothing. You know, so I think Fred has a great idea what he wants to do, this workshop to teach people about the branches of government, how to vote, how you contact your different levels of government within the city, local level. Fred, you probably could speak more to that.
Yeah, it's one of the things like I was telling you in the beginning, that I'm not a politician, and I was just wondering why did God put me in this position. And I'm starting to see it a little bit clearer. It's like a puzzle that you start off with 1,000 pieces, and the more you put the puzzle together, you start to see and it's starting to form into something. And I'm starting to see that really I'm here to bring back to the community, and with your help, Q, and a lot of other brothers. So we got to get this hub together and start teaching our youth the power that they have and understanding how the city works. You got to understand how this thing works. Like you understand, like you on the board of education, you understand how the board of education system works. Like if you're an electrician, you understand how the wires work. You know what I mean? And understanding how you can get more and benefit from the city and the tax dollars that your people pay for. You need to understand how it works and how you are able to get and to develop programs and get resources to come to you in your community. And if you don't engage in civic learning, you'll never be able to get it. They got to understand that, because I sit there in that city hall and I sit on the council and I see the people that come in there and I see what they get out of there. And I see our youth coming to talk, but I don't see them forming together to understand and take the positions from the people. Even my position, I'm not there and don't want to hold it. It's there for somebody younger than me that's ready to do the work to change the city of Bridgeport. And I'll be honest with you, everybody on that city council, to me, they've been there too damn long. And they might get mad at me because they don't do the bidding, and not all of them, but a lot of them don't do the bidding for the people of the city of Bridgeport.
They don't even know what's going on.
A lot of them are rubber stamps to me. I'm gonna tell you something. We sat in there to change the charter.
Mm-hmm.
The city charter has to get changed because there's not enough transparency. The mayor has too much damn power. And I don't care if it's Ganem or the next person, if they still got the same thing going on, the same thing's going to go on. The city council has to change that charter to bring more transparency to the city council so we can bring more transparency to our constituents about what's going on and the deals that's being made in the city of Bridgeport. There's too much backdoor, closed door dealing that the city council don't know about.
And under the table.
And under the table, over the table, through the table.
You know what I'm talking about?
And it has to change. So it's only going to change if we get our youth involved in civic engagement, man. And it might sound corny to them and something that they don't want to do. But I remember as a kid growing up, my mother used to tell me to do something that I didn't want to do. And I found out once I did, it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Mm.
And sometimes they have to go through the fire in order to understand how you're going to change. It's just like a blacksmith with iron. How do you change iron? You put it in fire. When you put it in fire and you mold it. And some of our kids don't want to get involved with this, but you have to let this fire touch you, man. Because you might understand that now you can mold this thing the way you want it to become. Or what you want it to become. Because at first I said, man, what's the use? It ain't no use. But if we all keep saying that, and we've been saying that, that's why the city keep running the way it is.
That's right. Wow, that's deep. Okay. All right, we're gonna get some final words. Okay. And I want to start off with Mr. McKnight. With the final words of I want to express to our people what is your plans from this day forward?
What my plan is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my plan is really my plan is in God's hands. It's God's plan. To just, because I know that the reality is I'm 56 years old, and if the average lifespan is 78, 80, then that means I've been alive longer than I got left to live, man.
Well, you know that they say it's 50.
Right. So I'm just saying that, really my plan is to use the rest of the time I got left on this earth.
That's right.
Wisely in service to God and service to the people and try to help my people and humanity in general, the entire humanity. Because see, doing what's right has become something that is looked down upon as not being popular. So we got to repopularize doing what's right. Because all the problems that you see all over the earth is a result of what men's own hands have wrought because of corruption of the heart in human beings.
That's
you
right.
talk about oppression, suffering, exploitation, all of that is because of the diseases of the heart of the human being. So let's make doing what's right popular. It's all right to do what's right, man. It's all right, man. Let's bring that back. Let's bring that back in style, man. And let's rebuild our community. Let's rebuild our city. Let's rebuild our state. And let's rebuild America from the moral decadence and destruction that we're facing right now.
That's right. Mr. Hodges?
I think there's two things I want to say, man. If we can get human justice and we can get human rights, then we can get human development. But if there's no human justice and there's no human rights, then there's no human justice, man. And a lot of the big things, our issues, is poverty. So my big fight is the fight against poverty. Because I always hear people talk about public safety, police engagement. But if you give a person an opportunity for self-sufficiency, that's public safety right there, man. You got to give people opportunities, man. And in the city of Bridgeport and the largest population in the state, and we got to give people opportunities, man. Not just the state doing it, but the private sector and everybody doing it, man. And that's my biggest thing, man, is human rights, human justice will bring about human development. I want to leave you with this thing that this brother, friend, you from New York, you might know Eddie Ellison, who started a new leadership program in New York. And I always think about this thing when he talks about community and prisons, right? He said prisons and prison populations is a reflection of what take place outside the prison and is a direct relationship that constitutes the basics by which we propose that there is no prison problems. only community problems. And once we begin to address the problems in the community, then prison problems will be addressed then too. So we gotta the community problems.
I agree 100%.
Brother Q, I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. May God bless you and your family. Thank you for allowing me and the brother to have a voice in the platform on this platform.
Thank you, and thank y'all for coming on. But I'm gonna leave y'all with this: the one thing I've seen in Bridgeport is fear. Is the people are scared to speak up. They are very scared to speak up. They don't want to be the person to speak up. They're that scared. I've seen that. I'm not scared.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm not scared. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
I will be the Pied Piper. I don't care. Follow me because I'm not scared. You know what I'm talking about? But I want to thank y'all for coming on the For What movement, and I hope y'all come back because we're gonna do the update.
Yeah,
The update are going to be on what we did, not just what we talked about.
right. I look forward to working with you outside of this platform, Q.
Oh, definitely. I think I will bring a lot to the table to help us both.
And don't forget, brother, next Saturday, we're gonna meet at 2 p.m. We're trying to get 100 Black and Latino brothers together just to walk through the community and show love and ask our brothers to
I wish I had some stuff, man.
put the guns down and life up.
I
Put
wish I
the
had
mind
some
down
stuff.
and pick the mind up.
I would do that, man, but we're going to work together with the marketing material for things like this. We need the marketing material for things like this, y'all. I know y'all like to do just hit the street, but let's give these people some stuff so they can come.
Yes, sir.
I want to be there for y'all. I will make the marketing material. You know I can do it, Dai. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? So let me do that. All right, but I'm going to do, well, I'll see you Tuesday, right, D?
Yes, sir.
Let's put something together real quick. I could print it up real quick and we could pass it out.
Absolutely.
Cool? That's cool?
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Thank y'all for coming on the show. This is the For What movement. We out.
We out. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Peace and blessings.
No doubt.